Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So we've been on a good run in May, and then yesterday was a pretty bad day. So we lost about maybe 3 units or something like that. And overall, it's been a great month, but yesterday was just one of those days where nothing was going our way. I was throwing out a bunch of plays, and a lot of them did not hit. So I'm going to start reducing the amount of plays, and I'm going to be putting more effort into the research. So that's what I wanted to do in this live. I'm going to go through a few games. I already have a bunch of plays that I'm looking at, but I wanted to go through a few more. And like I said, I'm going to be limiting the amount of plays that I'm putting out because I mean, obviously, the more plays I have out there, the bigger the risk. What's up, man? So let me take a look here. Give me a second here. I thought I had this loaded. So I'm going to go through this website called the Sharp Edge. If you don't have access to this, you can get 7 days for free in the description. But I'm going to go through the sharp plays right here. Texas shows that there's a strong lean right here, 8.0 confidence. Detroit is the other one, and then the over for Atlanta and Boston. And again, these are just this is basically just raw data. You still have to go in there and do the research, but this is what's showing up. These are not the games that I'm going to go through because I have other information that I wanted to go through, and I'll be doing that now. So let me go into the line move tool, and then I'm going to go to baseball. And you can see right here, the Cubs actually flip-flop from underdog to favorite. So it started as pretty heavy underdog, and now it's favorite. And on top of that, the money and the percentage is coming in on the Cubs. So it did flip flop from underdog to favorite. That's not one of the games I want to look at. The other one, the Reds, same thing. They went from underdog to favorite. And the reason I'm showing you this is just the type of information that's on this tool. You guys can go in here and check that out if you want. And then the other one is the under for the Nationals and the Guardians. So this under right here, it says it's a reverse line move. And what this means is that it actually went against the public. So you can see it also flags it as a sharp play because 58% of the bets and 71% of the money is coming in on the over, yet the line is dropping down half a point. So it's not a lot. It doesn't mean much when it only drops half a point. But this is a good indication for me because I was looking at the no run first inning. And this is one of the plays that came up as a no run first inning. So, anyways, these are the games that I'm going to go through. I'll just give you the list. I'm going to go through the Reds, the Braves, the Phillies, the Yankees, the Diamondbacks, the Astros, and that's it. So let's get into it here. So once I have all this information, I'm just going to go back to the dashboard over here. I'm going to click on baseball. And so let me take a look here. So these are just the projections right now. So let me just take a look at quickly at the projections. So the projections for where's the Reds at? Right here. It says they're supposed to be losing. So that's already a negative. It is going to be plus money, but that's already one negative against them. So that's not something that I like. Let me go to the Braves real quick. So let me just actually start opening these up in tabs. So let's see. I'm sorry. Let me show you one other thing first, and then I'll jump right into it. So this sharp line monitor, what this is doing is actually going out the night before. You can see the date up here. It started yesterday at 9:30 p.m. and the last time it ran was 8:55 a.m. So it runs every hour. It started last night, and now it ran throughout the night. And what this is doing is actually just getting the information from Pinnacle and all these other books, and it's literally tracking all the line movement as it's happening. Once it hits around 2 or 3 in the morning, it grabs the best ones that are actually moving, and then it breaks it down into those games. So you'll see right here, Diamondbacks came up, Dodgers came up, and Yankees came up. So out of the 2 out of these 3 games, I'm actually going to go with, and I'm going to give them to you right in this video, and I'll tell you exactly which 2 out of these 3 that I went with. Actually, you know what? I went with all 3 actually. So I went with the Yankees. I took the Dodgers. The Dodgers, I actually took them last night at a -1.5. The line even shifted over to a 2.5 that's how much of a projection that they're supposed to win. They're supposed to win by 2.5 runs. The only issue is that Shohei Ohtani, I think he's slightly injured and he's the starting pitcher. So you might want to look into that and confirm if he's going to be playing or not, and if he's injured or not. So I already threw the bet in there. I'm going to leave it in there, and we'll just see how it goes. But this is the tool that I built, the most recent tool that I've built, and the reason I built this was because I wanted to verify these odds. Because what I noticed after a while is that these odds that I was looking at were not accurate, and the different sources that I was using were not the actual opening line. So now I actually built my own thing to go and grab these opening lines myself, and that's why you see them in here. These are all the correct opening lines. I'll just explain what this does, and then I'll get into the looks. What up, man? So this is what it is. All right. So this basically is just the opening line, which is the actual opening line from Pinnacle. The current line is 145. So it's red right here because it's dropping in value. And then the consensus, what this means is that all these books over here, the consensus means that it's the 5 books or 6 books, whatever it is, divided by, or I'm sorry, the average between those 6 books. That's what the consensus is. So I don't leave this open. I did this for a reason. So it's just a bunch of noise right here for me because I'm not placing a bet right now. So this one actually just tells you the best price is the offshore book, and the away team is FanDuel. So if you wanted to look at that, that's how it looks. But anyways, these 3 main points is what matters. Is the opening line is 152. Let me just give you the example that I'm going to be using for the Dodgers. So the Dodgers over here started at a 376. It went all the way to 402, and then the consensus is 424. So this line has consistently been shifting ever since it opened. And like I said, the only issue with this game is that Ohtani might be slightly injured. So you might want to be careful on that one. Do you have any hitter props? Yes, I do. I threw them out in the VIP this morning. There's 2 of them. Actually, there's one to get 1 hit, and then there's one to not score a run, or I'm sorry, it's a under RBI, and then it's a 1 hit. I parlayed both of them together. If I have time, I'll share that one, but I don't have it in front of me. But that's what I did for the VIP this morning. All right, Nerfy report. This is what has been hitting for us. Yesterday, I think one of them lost. I didn't check the other one. I don't know if they both lost, but I put it out there. I said there was a risk, and I gave the reasoning and all that. And sure enough, these guys actually had 5 runs. A lot of people got burned on that game. It was the Cubs. The Pirates ended up scoring 5 runs on this lane pitcher, and I even mentioned that he was a lane pitcher and that was the risk. And sure enough, they got rocked 5-0 in the first inning. So, anyways, these are no runs first inning. Let me get. I feel like I'm all over the place. Let me get right back into this. I'm gonna again talk about the Reds, the Braves, the Phillies. What else? The Yankees and the Diamondbacks. The Dodgers, I'm not even gonna touch. This is a super lopsided game. It's not even worth talking about it. It's just a mismatch completely. So I did take them at a -1.5 last night. All right, so let's start with the Reds. All right, so for the Reds, they did start less projected. So they're supposed to lose this game by 1 run, which is already a negative. The line did start at a 102. It's at a 104, so that's going in the opposite direction. 28%. No. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah. I don't like this. So right away, I'm going to say no to this game. It's all over the place. Let me go to the Braves. All right. So for the Braves, you can see it's pretty even now. The projections, the wind might be affecting it a little bit, but not much. It's going to be a sunny day over there. So the Braves did start at a 120. Now it's at a 113. Let me verify this. That's why I like this sharp monitor, because this is actually pretty close to live. Let's see, Braves. So it went from a 118 to a 102. That's a negative sign. That actually did drop. It did drop in value. So this is correct. It's dropping in value. I'm not going to touch this. And it dropped by a lot of run. Sorry. The line shifted in the wrong direction. And you can see there's huge negatives here. So you got Atlanta with 83% of the bets and 94% of the money. And the line just completely dipped into the other team's favor, which is Boston. So the line is shifting dramatically in Boston's favor, which is not good for us. All right, let's go to Phillies. Where's the Phillies? Right here. So Phillies are supposed to win by half a run. They can't win by half a run technically, but that's the projections. Do you see Gausman getting 5 KOs? I don't do strikeout props. All right, so let's see what you can do. Just so you know, you can do is called Fantasy Alarm. You can look up Fantasy Alarm Baseball, and that'll give you like the breakdown. You can also look at the MLB, and they break down the batter versus the pitcher. They call them splits. Sorry about the dog if you can hear her. All right, so the Phillies, 153 to 155, so it is shifting in their favor. Let me confirm that. Phillies, it went from 154 to 153, is dropping in their favor, but against them. But this one is also dropping against them. So there is no clear indication on where the line is shifting to. The consensus is 161. That's not a good sign. I mean, it's kind of stuck. So 73% of the bets, 78% of the money is coming in on Philly, and the line is stuck. Then we have the win probability, 60%. 73% of the Phillies games, 19 out of the last 19, 14 of them they've won on the money line. Christian Sanchez, okay, this one looks good. Look at this guy, 4 wins, 1 loss compared to Buehler, which is the same. But look at the ERA. ERA is 0.47, which is less than 1, which is amazing compared to a 4.50. So whenever pitching is lower, the ERA is better. And you can see he's an A-grade pitcher. Bullpen is a little bit similar. Last 7 days, these guys are not that good. 0.97. So they're ranked 27th in OPS in the last 7 days compared to the Padres. So this is not a great game to bet on, but everything is looking towards Phillies. So look at right here too. Also, it says that the Padres are supposed to be batting in the 9th inning. What that means is that the home team is going to be batting in the 9th. So in essence, what that's saying is that the books think that they will be losing the game by the bottom of the 9th. On top of that, if you see over here the total hits, these guys are projected to get over 3.5 hits. These guys are projected to go under 7.5 hits. So that's a difference of 4 hits. I'm going to go with Phillies. I'm going to take the Phillies. Even though the line didn't shift, I'll take the Phillies. So I'm cleaning this. This is actually in process right now. This is going to be very, very super clean now. So it's going to be, instead of having all this text for the deeper research, it's going to be laid out perfectly. And it'll give you like maybe three paragraphs so you can read them a lot cleaner. And there's another thing called the sharp edge verdict. And that sharp edge verdict is going to give us all this data is going to be broken down right here, right on top. And it's going to say the verdict is that this is what's supposed to be happening. And it gives you like a breakdown of all this data into one like paragraph or a couple of sentences. And it pretty much tells you which team to go with. So that's actually coming up by tomorrow. It should be done. It's actually done right now. It's just I didn't have time to post it before this video. All right, so let's see what the Yankees. We're going to go with the Yankees. Now, I actually like the Yankees since last night. Like I mentioned, they came up over here. Where are they? They came up over here. They went from a 144 to a 149. The consensus is 154. So this line is still moving, and it's already moved 10 points. On top of that, they got the Yankees. The projections show that they should be winning by 3 runs. There's no pitcher. There was no pitcher at 2 a.m. So that's why it shows like there was no picture there. So now let's take a deeper look in this. All right. So right here it's supposed to 5, and then compared to 4.5. The line I already showed you did shift. That's one of the major reasons why I said that I built the other tool, and I'm actually going to clean the other tool to merge with this one, because these lines, as you can see, they're showing different numbers. And I mean, even though they're close, they're not super accurate. So that's the reason I built the other tool, because like I said, I showed you here, it started at what is this, 144, and now it's 149. And then we go back over here, and you can see it looks like it's actually going in the opposite direction, which is not. So that's going to be corrected also. Anyway, Yankees 66%. Garrett Cole. Okay, now remember it. Garrett Cole. What happened is that he was injured. He was on injury reserve, and I think this is his first game back this season. So it's going to be a little bit questionable. This guy's a great pitcher, but he doesn't have any data, so you can see B plus. We'll see how he comes back, but he should be decent, especially with all this other stuff with the batting. You can see the Yankees are number 1 for OPS, meaning on base percentage, compared to the Kansas City Royals, which only have Bobby Witt Jr. And that just reminded me for this guy, Scuba Diver. I went with Bobby Witt Jr. to get 1 hit. Actually, he don't even play with Royals anymore. He plays with the Mets. So that just triggered me to remember, because he used to play with the Royals. Anyway, ERA, great. Win probability, 58%. You can see it's all A's over here compared to B. So anyways, I remember I took these guys already. So if you want to take them, I took the Yankees. That's the other team. Now the Diamondbacks, I want to just verify the Diamondbacks are still decent. I already put the bet. I'm not taking it out, but I just want to verify. Let's see. Diamondbacks. $124 to $125, so it barely moved, and then the consensus is $134. So this thing's saying that it barely moved. Let's go take a look. Diamondbacks projections are very low, 3.5 and a 3.5. The line 126, 127. All the money, or 79% of the money, is 87% of the bets is coming in on Arizona. 56% win probability. The total runs. Okay, that's the over-under. Soroka is better. Bullpen is somewhat the same. Batting percentage is similar. Last 7 days for pitching is better on Arizona. 56% win probability. Okay, this is kind of... And then it does say right here that the Giants are supposed to be batting, which it's a heavy odd, which means that the books think that the Giants will be losing this game. So I'm not cashing out or anything like that. I'm taking the Diamondbacks if you guys want to check that out. And then the last one I'll check out is the Astros. They came up since last night, and then they actually went back into, or let me confirm that. Astros. So this one is going to be a little bit different. You can see they started as an underdog at a plus 151, and now they're currently at a plus 141. So it's going in their favor, but it's actually being pushed as an underdog, if that makes sense. That's why this is green. So they're not favorite, they're underdog. So that's the first thing, and it's still decent. So now let me go back and look at the Astros. So you can see even the projections show that the Astros should win this game. The wind, rain, 50% chance of rain. So let's see. So the money, so check this out. This is going to be considered a reverse line move, because 70% of the bets and 54% of the money is coming in on Texas, yet the line is shifting 10 points in the opposite direction. So that's considered a reverse line move, which is great. The Grom is very good right here. You can see a 3.86 ERA. So that's already a negative towards Houston. Bullpen is also better, which is not good. The batting is better on Houston's side. Look, in the last 7 days, they're actually number 4. Pitching is somewhat decent overall. There's going to be a tight game. You can even see the 60% chance that Texas takes this. And then it's a coin flip saying that they should or should not be getting a batting in the ninth. So what I'm doing with Houston, I'm taking them at a +1.5 as underdogs. Okay. Last thing I'll talk about here is this Nerfy report. So in this Nerfy report, basically what it does is it gives you all the pitching stuff on one side and then all the batting stuff right below it. So defense on top, offense on the bottom. And look how good Shohei Ohtani is right here compared to Sugano. And that's why I didn't even want to show you the game. It's a huge lopsided game. And the Dodgers are supposed to win this by 3 runs. So I took them at a -1.5 last night. And I was able to get like decent odds at like a -140 or something like that. Anyways, this guy's an elite pitcher. And what I want to look at here very quickly, I'm not going to go through every single one of these. And I already told you I'm going with the Phillies with the no-run first inning, but I'll explain why. So right here, these two pitchers, this guy sucks, 58%. In his career, they get a run off of him in the first inning 58% of the time. And this guy, he's a lot better, but they both have to be good in order for this to work. Same thing with this guy. This guy's cold, very weak defense in general, strong offense. So I'm not touching that one. Now compare all that, what I just showed you, to this one. This one is a little bit better. It's not amazing, but it's decent. Mikolas right here, he's got 6 games in a row. He has not allowed a run in the first inning. Overall, his green picture, decent. It's not red at all for defense. Gavin Williams, also a strong pitcher. And then the offense is 22nd rank, 13th rank. And this is only strictly for no-run first inning. 0 games in the last 3, 33%. So that means 1 game. So that's why I'm taking this. Strong defense. This guy's not so great, but you can see he's got a huge, nice record there. 90% of his last 10 games, he's got 9 games with no runs in the first inning. So again, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but they stand out pretty easily. Like, for example, this is all red. This is all red. That just means stay away. This is somewhat green, but then this is all yellow and red down here. So again, it says stay away. But again, this, from what I showed you just now, the Diamondbacks, it's supposed to go on the under, like a 7.5. So that helps this logic that no run first inning. But I'm not touching that one. This guy's decent FIP right here, 1.97, all green on this side. Philadelphia is ranked 23rd. So no, I'm not taking that one. This one's just missing a bunch of data because he either hasn't played yet or he hasn't started. I think this is the other one that I took. Yeah, this one is the other one that I took. But this one's a little bit riskier because of the 60% hit rate over here. So what this means is that in the last 10 games, they've got the opposite team has gotten 4 runs or a minimum of 1 run in the first inning 4 games in a row. So he's hitting at a 60% hit rate. This guy's hitting at a 100% hit rate. You can see his hot streak right there. So these guys are going against this guy, which is good. They're not going to score, or they shouldn't score. But then these guys are ranked 14th going against this guy. So that's the risk. I'm still taking it, but that's a risk. So yesterday is one of the examples I said. The Cubs pitcher should have held out because the Pittsburgh Pirates are the second worst team to get a run in the first inning. But then now their average went up because yesterday they got 5 runs in the first inning. So I'm staying away from that one. Then that's it. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. So the guy I'm taking to get a hit is Bobby Witt Jr. And I gave you guys a bunch of plays. I'm taking the Astros at a +1.5. I'm taking the Yankees on the money line. I'm taking the Diamondbacks on the money line. And I'm taking the Dodgers at a -1.5. All right, guys. I don't see any questions, man. So I appreciate you all that are here. If you haven't had a chance to get this tool, it's 7 days for free. Plus, you get access to the Discord. and I'm starting to throw a lot of my plays inside the Discord, and it's been decent. Yesterday was not so great, but overall has been a decent month. So make sure to check that out. All right, guys. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate everybody that's here. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me see something here. If you're on X, go to YouTube and type in Beast Sports Picks, and then you'll be able to get free picks also. So there's a link in the description that says free picks. Make sure you check that out, because sometimes if I can't make a video, I'll still throw out a free pick. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day. Also, make sure to subscribe so you can get to 5,000 subscribers.